Greetings, slackers. It's September 1st, 2017, and I am over here on Bloomberg.com with another article I want to share with you. And this is about why we can't have the male pill. A condom alternative could be worth billions. Was taken so long by Emily Anthis. I'm not going to read this whole thing because it is a lengthy piece, and I will cut it off at some point so you can go on over to the website. You can find the link down in the description box. But it goes on to say here that the trouble began, as it so often does, with a bottle of Chivas Regal. Back in the 1950s, scientists at Sterling Drug, a now defunct pharmaceutical company, synthesized a class of chemicals that made male rats temporarily infertile. They thought they might be onto something big, the first ever birth control pill for men. After identifying several promising compounds, including one known as Win-18-446, a trio of researchers began testing them on a ready population, inmates at the Oregon State Penitentiary. The results were astonishing. Within 12 weeks, the inmates' sperm counts had plummeted. When the men stopped taking the drug, sperm production returned to normal. Better yet, they experienced few side effects. Then, one of the participants drank some contraband scotch and became unusually violently ill. He confessed his transgression to the researchers, and follow-up studies confirmed his account. Win-18-446 didn't mix well with booze. Men who combined the two reported heart palpitations, sweating, nausea, and vomiting. The research was quietly abandoned. For years, headlines have promised an imminent breakthrough in male contraception. Time and again, these efforts have fallen short. Last October, for instance, researchers reported that a hormone cocktail they'd been testing curbed sperm production and prevented pregnancies. But they had to halt the study early because men were reporting troubling side effects, including mood changes and depression. Quote, the joke in the field is that the male contraceptive has been 5 years away for the last 40 years, says John Amory, a research physician at the University of Washington School of Medicine who has been working on the challenge for 2 decades. A new form of male birth control would be a public health triumph and could snag a significant piece of the contraceptive market, which is expected to surpass $33 billion by 2023, according to research firm Global Market Insights Incorporated, or possibly expand it further. In a 2002 German survey of 9,000 men in 9 countries, including Brazil, France, Germany, Mexico, and the US, more than 55% of the respondents said they'd be willing to use a new form of male birth control. A later study by Johns Hopkins University established that the demand could yield 44 million customers in those 9 countries alone. And yet, major pharmaceutical companies have mostly abandoned the chase. Wonder why that is. That has left a scrappy tribe of scientists to fill the void. They've dreamed up a vast array of ideas, from the conventional hormone gels, implants, and injections designed to temporarily suppress sperm production, to the decidedly unorthodox men prepare to have lasers beamed at your testes. For his part, Amory is trying to resurrect a drug that showed so much potential in prisoners, but turning Win-18-446 into a contraceptive has, like other such quests, proven difficult, as stubbornly elusive as discovering alien life or harnessing energy from nuclear fusion. Quote, when I was in high school, I thought I was going to become a physicist and work on developing fusion, Amory says. Then I started working on this, and now I wonder what we're going to have first, workable fusion or a male pill. When it comes to preventing pregnancy, women have a multitude of choices. There are diaphragms and sponges, cervical caps, and female condoms, spermicidal gels, foams, films, creams, and suppositories. Hormone delivery systems involving pills, implants, injections, patches, vaginal rings, and IUDs. These options are far from perfect, and they remain inaccessible and unaffordable for many women, but at least they exist. Men have only two choices: condoms which have a real-world failure rate of about 18%, and vasectomy, a surgical procedure that's often permanent. A new contraceptive could give men more control over their reproductive futures, alleviate a burden that's overwhelmingly borne by women, and reduce the rate of unintended pregnancies, which is about 40% worldwide, according to the nonprofit Guttmacher Institute. Women have sometimes argued, not unconvincingly, that the lack of a male pill reflects a double standard, but the scientific and regulatory challenges involved in creating a viable male contraceptive are vexing on their own. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there. If you want to come over and read the rest of this, again, the link will be down in the description box below. You know, men actually have 4 choices outside of the 2 choices that they put here. You know, there is always the pull-out method. You know, you got to know your what was that Cat Williams called it? Your pump number. Okay, you got to know when the pump stop, pull out. You know, and the other is to abstain from sex altogether. But again, who wants to do that, right? Now, you also have masturbation, but there's nothing beats being with a real live person. You know, they're trying to roll out sex robots right now. Who the hell is going to go for that? Well, there's people out there who would. But if you're like me, I'm going to be sticking to real human women over a robotic one. But yeah, what do you think about this? You know, females do have a multitude of birth control. And at the same time, look at women's behavior when they get around that time of the month, or if they're on birth control, how they go through the mood swings and, you know, the attitude and the withdrawal, the silence, the cramps. I mean, all this stuff coming together. Could you imagine if men were out there taking these pills to try to, you know, control their reproductive rights and subsequently ended up becoming more moody, more crankier, you know, more angrier? You know, is that something that men are really ready to experience? Because women have had the advantage, or I guess you could say the burden of experiencing it all these years, but has it really been worth it? Now, when I was younger and uneducated, highly sex driven, I wanted to be with women in whichever way that I could. And if you sold me then on the idea that I could take a pill and I could bust unlimited nuts without consequence of her getting pregnant, I probably would have been like, sign me up. And I know plenty of other men out there who also too would have said the same thing, sign me up. But is this something that men are really ready to experience and deal with? Leave for me your thoughts and comments about male birth control, how you feel about it, down in the comment section below. The link to this will be down in the description box. And as always, that's going to do it for this article and this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Did you enjoy this video and find it informative? Subscribe to the Slackers Method and click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to receive all the latest notifications for when I upload new videos.